In my last video, where I discussed the EU eyeing up Ireland greedily looking for a cash grab, along with other countries I'm sure, because they need to fill up their coffers to maintain their champagne lifestyle and keep their snouts firmly in the trough, I also made reference to the Lisbon Treaty and the fact that Ireland was forced to vote again because the EU did not get the result that they wanted. Something that they also tried in the UK but failed. I was immediately bombarded by the lying Europhiles about how I was wrong and that Ireland was never forced to vote again, and it was in fact basically the Irish people reconsidering their position and actually coming to their senses. How arrogant is that? So you can imagine my delight when I found an article that not only confirmed what I said, but what really shocked me is who published the article. It was The Guardian. I would have never expected The Guardian, the champion of capitulation to the EU, the champion of open borders, the champion of cultural and race shaming, those who would instigate our country to be handed over and run by somebody else. But here it is. This article was published in December 2008, and I will be posting the link for you to read it for yourselves. Please do. It begins, asking the Irish to vote again on the Lisbon Treaty is arrogant, insulting and undemocratic. Imagine if, following the election of Barack Obama by 52.9% of American voters, the Republican Party, which got just 45.7% of votes, demanded another election. Imagine if the Republicans described Obama's victory as a triumph of ignorance, brought about by an unspeakable and ignorant mass of people who should have been swatted away by the forces of the establishment. It goes on to say that there would be uproar and outrage. It then goes on to say that the Irish were subjected to a tirade of slanderous abuse when they dared to reject officials' carefully crafted and profound bullshit. It was widely claimed that the Irish simply didn't understand the treaty and may have been confused by its technocrat, near incomprehensible language. Even Neil Kinnock said it was a triumph of ignorance. Andrew Duff, Liberal Democrat MEP, labelled the rejectionists as an odd bunch of racists, xenophobes, nationalists, communists. Where have we heard this all before? Ireland was forced, not just forced, bullied into voting again. And the following time, based on the results of the first referendum, the EU then changed its campaign to play on people's fears or play on what people would be intimidated by. An absolutely disgraceful, insidious and dishonest institution who have exploited every country that has been foolish enough to allow them to become their paymasters. And as for Ireland being ungrateful for the handouts that it received from the EU, which is mentioned in this article, the same applies to the UK. They used to take billions off the UK. In fact, they still do as part of our divorce settlement. And they used to throw us the odd million or two for a project which they would then take full credit for. And it would normally be projects aimed at misfits, something along the lines of the Manchester Mutual Perversion Society, proudly funded by the EU, and that sort of thing. The best thing that Ireland could do would be to actually stand its ground. They should not be bullied into either raising their corporate tax rate, they should not be bullied into handing over a percentage of their income from offshore companies in a digital services tax. They should take control of their own nation, and they should focus on more equal distribution of wealth throughout their country, because Ireland should not be there. In fact, no nation should be there simply to serve for the benefits of this horrid, insidious, deceitful and corrupt, arrogant institution. And the sooner the EU fails and is confined to the history books, the better. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Oh, by the way, those of you who are the Europhiles, who come in so hostile, I've noticed you all have something in common. Whether you are supporters of EU, immigration, net zero, LTNs, why is it that your profiles never have a picture and never have a name? I'm talking to you, user 153219885 and so on. Please feel free to say anything you wish, because unlike you, I actually champion a democracy. That means I speak, you listen, you speak, I listen. And if I disagree with you, I don't resort to calling you a racist, a xenophobe, a moron. Well, moron I do, because I like to use that word, as you have probably gathered. So feel free to express your opinions, but even more importantly, feel free to reveal yourselves. Don't hide behind walls throwing stones. Grow a pair, stand up, be counted, and show your faces. That's all for this video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye for now.